Do you believe that your time on here on Earth has been a success?
Success? That also relative. Some field, I think some achievement there, and some field, failure. So difficult to say. I think all human life, like that. Some part failure, some part achieve. It is wrong to pick up one thing, then say, oh, very success. Wrong. And pick up one thing of failure, that also wrong. Things are relative.
The time to enjoy yourself is in the now, in the moment of whatever it is that you are trying to achieve. Whether you're home walking the dog, cleaning the garage, taking care of the kids, or you're trying to get to that next level, it is your right to enjoy yourself. And now you're probably looking at me and you're all thinking, and some of you might be saying, you know what, Steve, that makes sense. Okay, make a choice, enjoy myself. But how do you get to enjoy yourself when you are trying everything? You're implementing all the tools and all the information you got, but it's just not working. I'm seeing other people passing me by. How do you get to enjoy yourself, Steve, when some of the people are having really intense problems at home? Some people are going through a divorce. They're having financial difficulties. Maybe there's an illness in the family. You tell me, Steve, how you are supposed to enjoy yourself when all these things are happening to you in your life. Drugs. I'll be selling product in the back of the room later on. All good questions, because I get these questions all the time when I give my half-day seminars, when I give my workshops. I always get those questions. Here is how you can assure yourself to enjoy yourself during the process of whatever it is you're trying to achieve. I want you to get this, because it starts as soon as you open up your eyes in the morning, or whenever it is that you start the day. As soon as you open up your eyes to greet the day, you enter into consciousness. It is at that moment that your creativity is at its most powerful. Right there and then, you have an opportunity to steer your thoughts and your emotions in the direction that you want them to go, not in the direction that they're telling you to go. In other words, you can literally choose to seize the day, or you can let the day seize you. That's a choice. I think you can all agree that too many people today, soon as they open up their eyes, the first thing that they focus on is all the grueling stuff they had to go through the day before, all the stuff that didn't get accomplished, all the stuff that didn't get done, the irate people that they had to deal with. And then they start thinking about all the stuff that has to be done on the coming day. They have to get up, and not only do they have to get themselves psyched and prepared, they have to get the kids ready to get to school, then they have to get dressed and do what they have to do, and they can't even understand the day just started. They didn't even start to achieve their goals, and their energy level is down here. With what you're trying to do, with what you are all trying to accomplish, man, your energy level better be cranked. It has to be up here. So what I want you to do, as soon as you open up your eyes to start the day, is to immediately start focusing on something or someone that you are totally grateful for in your life. I don't care what it is or who it is, but I want you to feel it with your heart and soul. Your only goal, as soon as you open up your eyes, should be to make yourself feel good and to give yourself enough confidence to get through the day. Don't worry about what needs to be done. Think about who you have to be in order to get it done. And you do this by focusing on all the things that you're grateful for. Focus on what's working in your life rather than fixating on what isn't working. Maybe you're grateful for the person that's lying next to you. Maybe you're thinking of your children. Maybe it's a dog lying on the side of your bed. Maybe you're listening to the birds outside your window. It's the wonderful house you live in. Maybe it's the wonderful organization that you belong to. It doesn't matter what it is. You just feel it with your heart and soul. You build from there and you keep going. Why do I want you to do this? Because gratitude is the most powerful connection you have to your higher self. You always, always want to start your day connected to this higher self. And when you do, life becomes easier. You don't take things personally. When you're confronted with a challenge, you just look at it for what it's worth. It's a challenge. Everybody's confronted with challenges. And you know that there's something within you that can meet it and overcome it and move forward as a result of it. And the next thing that I want you to do, as soon as you have this attitude of gratitude going for you, tell yourself you're going to enjoy the day. Say it to yourself, you know what, I'm going to enjoy the day. This is going to be a good day. Visualize how you want your life to go. Visualize yourself having fun with your fellow workers, the people you're working for, who are working for you. Doesn't matter. Just visualize yourself achieving the goal. And always, always find the laughter within you and around you every day of your life. And that should start in the morning before you leave the house. There's humor all around you. We get so caught up in our thought process on what needs to be done, we let all the funny stuff in our lives just pass us by. How many married people are out there? Raise your hands. How many married people? Oh, there's humor there. Oh, there's humor there. As a matter of fact, it's essential. I always said a sense of humor is probably the number one thing that can keep a couple together. Humor, a sense of humor. But if you read Oprah magazine and if you read Cosmopolitan, they'll tell you the key to a healthy relationship is to understand your partner. Oh, really? That's absurd. You'll never be able to understand your partner. The only thing you need to understand is that you will never be able to understand your partner. It's impossible. You'll go out of your mind trying to do it. Hey, I've been married to my wife for 25 years. Till this day, I can't understand why I have to get in trouble for dreams that she has. Guys, you know what I'm talking about? You wake up in the morning, good morning. Oh, don't you good morning me. Well, what happened? Well, I just had a dream that you had an affair with another woman. And really, guys, your response should never be, really? What'd she look like? I just want to know if it's the same dream I've been having. Do me a favor, go to sleep, get an email address, let me know. Humor is everywhere. I take this stuff with me when I'm on the road. I think about these things that my wife and I do, it just gives me such a great feeling. And if you're married, you know you're going to argue, and the arguments are usually funny. I mean, really funny, because you never know what's going on. I had an argument with my wife about a month ago, and a friend called me up, and I said, I can't talk now, we're having an argument. He goes, what's it about? I said, I don't know, she didn't tell me. And they never tell you. Women, why don't you tell us what it is? And you know something's wrong because we're going out, we're ready to go to dinner, we're in the car. I look at her and I say, boy, you look great. She goes, mm-hmm. And I knew it right there. It wasn't even a word, it was just a mm-hmm. I say, something wrong? No, nothing. Nothing, there's nothing wrong. Green light, keep going. Green light, keep going. You sure there's nothing? Nothing, nothing. So you let it go. 20 seconds, you let it go, and all of a sudden you hear, you really don't care, do you? Where does that come from? And I look at her and said, of course I care. That's why I asked you. I asked you what is wrong. And then she says something that is totally illogical. Well, if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you. Well, if you don't tell me, I'm not going to know. What am I, the amazing Kreskin? And guys, what do? The dumbest thing in the world. We start guessing what it might be. Don't do that, because then you're telling her stuff that she didn't even know about. It's all based on choices, people. I know what stress is. I fly 300,000 miles a year. Sometimes I'm in 4 cities in 6 days. I can't even explain what I went through last week. It's amazing. Sometimes I have a half-day seminar to give, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes my butt is dragging. But the thing that juices me more than anything else, the thing that gives me more positive energy more than anything else, it's not caffeine, it's not alcohol, it's not drugs. I mean, I do those things, but it's none of those things. Kidding. The thing that juices me is when I turn my humor being loose in a public setting. That's what I'm noted for with my friends. Sometimes they just don't want to be near me when I let loose. And the thing that cracks me up when I do this are the people that don't get it. That's what cracks me up. I'm in hotels my entire life. I'm always having fun with the hotel staff. They never get it. I was at the Ritz-Carlton a while back. Housekeeping knocked on my door and said, Mr. Rizzo, can I turn down your bed? I opened up the door and I said, why? Is it too loud? She didn't get it. You should have seen the look at her face. No, I'm going, oh, he's weird. I'm not going back in there. I'll tell you that right now. So I got back to my room. This was at the Ritz-Carlton, and I noticed that they did turn down my bed. You know what turn down service is, right, folks? That's when housekeeping comes into your room. Well, you're not there, and they rearrange everything so that when you go back in, you have no idea where anything is. The thing that cracks me up more than anything, turn down service, does anyone know what it is? It's the piece of chocolate they put on your pillow. We're supposed to consume this. It's a nightcap. Nightcap? Are you kidding me? Chocolate is going to help you sleep? It has the complete opposite effect. The comedian in me, thinking of the absurdity of this, I dialed the front desk the next morning and said, hey, I want to thank you very much for that chocolate. It really helped me sleep last night. Well, you're very welcome, Mr. Rizzo. Is there anything else we could do for you? I said, yeah, I was wondering. Maybe tonight you could put a vial of crack and a pot of coffee on my pillow. No, seriously, I think that'll help me sleep. So you're laughing. You want to know what he said? Oh, I don't think we could do that. How do you not get that? It's not just the traveling that gets me too, it's the security measures you got to go through all the time now. You know, you got to go through security all the time with all this stuff and take this off and put that down and check this. Oh, you got to be kidding me. But the thing that I do to beat that is I'm an observer. I watch people. I love watching people. Not too long ago, I was at the airport and I'm looking at this kid, 14-year-old kid. Folks, I want to say something. I don't like to judge people, and I really wasn't judging him. I couldn't help but notice this kid had so much metal on his face. So many pins, hooks, earrings, rings. And I'm going, how is he going to get through security like this? Because it looked like he fell in a tackle box, okay? That's what it looked like. It looked he looked like fishing lure. It looked like he would have caught a marlin. You know what I'm saying? And wouldn't you know it, who do I sit next to on the plane but this 14-year-old kid? And he's wearing a T-shirt. Life sucks and then you die. Very optimistic. And I was very surprised because we had a conversation, and this kid, we were talking about politics, this kid knew what he was talking about. And I was impressed, but I couldn't help myself again. Again, the comedian me goes rampant, goes crazy. And as I'm talking to him about the serious conversation, I couldn't help but notice, folks, I'm not kidding you when I say this. I kept looking at him and I counted. He had 10 rings on one brow. 10 rings. And all I kept thinking of was shower curtain. That's all I kept thinking of. Like, right? It's like, what is he, like some kind of modern day pirate with a little flap? I. There's humor everywhere. How many pet lovers? We have pets out there? People love your pets? I have 3 labs. My wife's the dog trainer. 3 labs, a cat, and 4 exotic birds. Now, how many cat lovers are out there? See, I love cats. Cats are the coolest animals on the face of the planet. You know why? Because every cat on the planet, watch them. You'll start your day off in a great mood. Cats, I don't care where they live, have a New York attitude. Watch the way they walk. They destroy it. Hey, how you doing? All right, hey. I'm serious. If cats could talk, they'd go, meow, meow, bada bing, meow. Hey, I'm walking here. They always have that attitude. How you doing? Dogs are the complete opposite. I love my labs, but they are the most neurotic animals on the face of the planet. Dogs always have that stupid, guilty look on their face, even if they didn't do it. You know, you come home and you go, who made this mess? Oh, God, it must have been me. I'm so sorry, I was walking. It came out. Apparently, I'm not well. And the cat's hanging out in the living room going, what a moron. Jeez, what is your problem? I did it and you take the blame. And I have exotic birds. I love my birds. I have an African gray. Do yourself a favor. Tonight, tomorrow, whenever you want to, go online. Look up African gray. It will tell you it is the smartest animal on the planet. Beats out chimpanzees now, dogs, and dolphins. We weaned this bird since it was a baby. It has an incredible vocabulary. It'll talk like me to get my wife's attention. It'll talk like my wife to get my attention. Just the other day, she was on her perch in the kitchen. She went to get off to go for a walk, and she's walking in the kitchen. One of the dogs were in the way, and she goes, Wally, move, I said now. The dog goes, geez, what the heck? And as the dog is walking away, the bird's looking at him going, good boy, good boy. I'm not making this up. It has a sense of humor. It sits on its perch in the kitchen and beckons to all 3 dogs. Wally, Jesse, Brandy, dinner's ready. And the dogs are running around the house looking for their food. And they look up at the bird, and the bird's looking at them going, These are the things I take with me. These are the things that can put you in a great mood. That's how you get through the day. I remember this stuff when I'm on the road. Another thing that can put you in a great mood every day, do something nice for somebody. Do something nice for somebody. There's nothing that can bounce you back to enjoy the day than that. If you're walking through town, for example, and you see a parking summons on someone's windshield, just walk over to it, rip that sucker up, and throw it away. Why should that person have to pay for that? And you'll feel so much better. All these things that I am telling you is giving you a different thought process, a different focus to look at life from a different perspective. Scientists are all in agreement today that our lives move in the direction of our most dominant thoughts and what we focus on day in and day out. Not only do our lives move in the direction of what we focus on and what we think about, but those very things that we're thinking about and focusing on are moving closer to us. In other words, people, the more you focus on your lack, the more of that you're going to get back. I was in New York City. I had a rental car that kept breaking down. It was 98 degrees. The air conditioning isn't working. Sweat's pouring down my face. I'm in the world's biggest traffic jam. And it seemed like every New Yorker in the planet is beeping their horns and cursing at me. That's not a very secure feeling. The car kept breaking down, and I'm already a half hour late for a very important audition. Now, I'm feeling this snowball of negativity building up, and I'm like, oh man, what else could possibly happen? Don't ever ask that question. See, because if you do, the universe will answer you. Okay, I'll show you. Oh, and it did, and I drive up to the toll booth, and I went to pay the guy, and I realized I left my money home. I don't know what possessed me. I just looked at the guy, and I said, hey, I'll have a couple of burgers, 2 fries, and get something for yourself there, Sparky. Now, I didn't know this, but this guy was new in this country, and he didn't understand American humor. The poor guy looked at me, and he said, I'm very sorry, but we do not have food here. I said, well, then you better get it because you're holding up traffic. Now, all of a sudden, I notice he's starting to laugh. Now, so am I, but all the cars, he finally gets the joke. We're both dying, but all the cars in back of me, they're beeping the horns going, hey, come on, move it. We got to get going. I swear to you, my newfound friend in the toll booth sticks his head out, motions to all of the other cars and says, I'm very sorry, but we ran out of food. Try the next booth. By then, we were hysterical. We were high-fiving each other. We became best friends in 30 seconds. You want to know what the cool thing was, people? He let me go without paying. What a great guy. He looked at me and he said, listen to me, my friend, this toll is on me. You have to understand, I am brand new in this country and this is only my 2nd day on the job. Believe me when I tell you I really needed to laugh today. And I looked at him and I said, so did I. Now here's the point. Very important point. I drove away from that toll booth in a totally different state of mind. Totally different state of mind. As a result, I was able to plant positive thoughts in my head, constructive ways on how I can deal with this very important audition that I had coming up, and guess what? I had a great audition. It's a good thing I did. Led to the most important break of my comedy career. That's how I got my first TV special, my Showtime special, and that special paved the way for every other special that I've ever gotten. Here's a question. What do you think would have happened if I would have gone into that audition in the mood that I was in before the toll booth incident? I wouldn't have had a chance. Not in the mood that I was in. I tried everything in my power to turn that situation around. Everything. Because I read all those books on positive thinking and positive affirmations, and I realized something very important that day. Sometimes your brain is in such an overwhelming negative state, it just isn't going to buy the fact that everything's okay. I felt I was ripped off. I wanted to take the books back. Because there I was in New York City, 98 degrees, air conditioning is working, sweat's pouring down my face, the car's breaking down, New Yorkers are cursing at me, I'm late for this audition, and I'm behind the wheel of my car reciting these affirmations. My life is going just the way I want. I am in total control of this situation. I am the radiating center of love and peace. Just then someone beat the horn and I'm like, pick a number, pal. You know what I realized? And I realized this years later. It's only when I started laughing was I able to think positive. Why is that? Why is that? Only when I started laughing. I'll tell you why. Here's a psychological reasoning behind this. Because people, when you start laughing at a negative, intense, stressful, overwhelming situation like that, your brain is no longer focusing on that negative situation. Your brain could only focus on one thing at a time. Right now, your brain is laughing at something ridiculous that you just did. And even if your brain did go back to that negative situation, which it will do eventually, but guess what? It won't be as overwhelming as it was before, because you've calmed your nervous system down to the point where you can control the situation instead of having that situation control you. You just got to understand that some people refuse to acknowledge that they have a humor being. Be very, very quiet. Cameraman's going, get him away from me. Some people refuse to acknowledge that they have a humor being. State troopers refuse to acknowledge that they have a humor being. Here's a list of things you should never, ever say to a state trooper. Can I see your license and registration, please? Sure, you want to hold my beer? Didn't you see that stop sign? Yep, I saw it. I just didn't see you hiding behind it. Are you drinking? I don't know. Are you buying? Well, wise guy, it looks like I'm going to have to give you a ticket for speeding. Well, could you make it quick? Because it's pretty apparent I'm in a hurry. The last thing you'd ever say to a state trooper, how come you didn't stop when I was chasing you? Well, a couple of years ago, my wife ran away with a state trooper, and I thought you were trying to return her. Give yourselves a big round of applause again. Thanks for the energy. Thanks for the energy. How much better do you feel right now that you're laughing? How much better do you feel that you're laughing? That's my point. That's my point. What a great group. You know what I always wanted to do? And I haven't done this yet, but I promise you I will do this someday. Just takes a lot of nerve. I always wanted to get pulled over by a cop, roll down the window and go, "You're not going to check the trunk, are you?"